Deebo Samuel from the San Francisco 49ers had one of the most absurd seasons in 2021. Just receiving, he had 77 receptions for 1,400 yards, averaging 18.2 yards a catch and 6 touchdowns. Samuel also had 365 yards on the ground, averaging 6.2 yards a carry, and 8 touchdowns on that season. After this unbelievable season, Deebo Samuel got paid. But more than getting paid, people saw him as the future of the 49ers wide receiver position, and possibly, much like Jerry Rice, a Hall of Famer. 2022 did not even see close to the same amount of production from Deebo, and while there was probably more weapons around Deebo, he still didn't even break the 1,000-yard mark, which his counterpart Brandon Aiyuk did. And while you look at these stats and you say, well, maybe Deebo Samuel just had the fluke year and he'll never return to that greatness he once had, there's plenty of stories of players having a great year and never being able to recapture that magic. However, I want to lay out my argument on why I think Deebo Samuel is back and he'll bring up the same level of play he did in 2021. The first and most important thing to look at is how Deebo came to shape in practice and what he looked like going into each one of these seasons. In 2021, Deebo Samuel was, in my opinion, in the best shape of his entire NFL career. But last season, after those contract negotiations and not being able to really practice with the team, Deebo Samuel looked heavy, and some people noticed that too. He didn't look as explosive or as fast. To further hinder Deebo, he was injured in 2022 much more than he was in 2021, and that allowed Deebo never to get into football shape, so he kind of was in this constant battle of getting injured and not being in football shape, but trying to produce. This offseason, things are already looking a lot better. Rather than getting cryptic tweets and requesting trades, Deebo Samuel's social media is filled of him working out, and he looks in a lot better shape than he did previously. And while OTAs will confirm this, everything he's been putting out looks great. Furthermore, Samuel is working out with DeAndre Hopkins and Saquon Barkley this offseason, some of the best players in the league, which will definitely help Deebo. Another thing working in Deebo Samuel's favor is that he's been talking a lot of trash this offseason, giving him that internal motivation, much like he had in 2021. Some of this trash talk happened on Kevin Hart's Cold as Balls, where Deebo Samuel said the 49ers lost the championship game only because they didn't have a quarterback who could throw. He even said Brock Purdy could barely take the handoff. So him saying all these things and then also doubling back and calling certain players trash, not that good, really puts Deebo in a tricky situation where he must perform so all of his words aren't used against him. Another important factor to mention is the 49ers have a way out of Deebo Samuel's contract. So if Deebo continues to underperform, he won't be a 49er that much longer, which is the best position for Deebo to be in because Shanahan is one of the only coaches that knows how to use Deebo Samuel to his full potential. For all these reasons, I think Deebo Samuel is back, and back to his 2021 form when he shocked the whole entire league. And if that's the case, the 49ers are probably the deadliest team across the league because not only do they have Deebo Samuel, they also have Brandon Aiyuk, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk, and both of their quarterbacks seem to be awesome right now. I mean, it recently came out that Purdy is expected to go in training camp, but not just that. Lance's mechanics are said to be much improved, but whoever Deebo's catching passes from or taking handoffs from, I think he's going to excel this year and return to his true form. But those are just my thoughts on Deebo Samuel's offseason, and I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Thank you guys as always for watching. It means a ton. It would also mean a ton if you guys subscribe.